to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Guns, self-defense, concealed carry. This is the Patriot Defense Podcast. From the war room in Idaho's high desert, here's your host, Todd Eccles.
Here we are. It is the last Saturday of the year, and it finds us once again tucked away in the war room somewhere in the high desert of the Magic Valley. I think we're kind of tonight before the storm. I think tomorrow's supposed to get pretty nasty, lots of wind, some snow. Today was actually pretty nice out.
I didn't know.
I've got Mark with me, and I've got Mr. Kevin Tarver with me tonight.
Hey.
And where did the year go?
The year has left us. It's gone. I have no idea. It went by freaking fast.
Yeah, it did.
So I need to get on here and count, but I was counting, and we've done I kind of glanced. We've done almost 50 shows. Most of them with you guys. Some of them I did before. Some of them they no longer exist anymore. I've erased them. But we've done like 40 or 50 shows, which that's pretty damn good for us, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I thought it was.
I'm sure it is.
We just got to make people listen to it.
We've been relatively disciplined about getting these done like every weekend.
I lost count at like 2,422.
Yeah, because that's what number we're really at.
Yeah.
So whatever. How was your day today, Mr. Mark?
Well, it was a lot of planning and I don't know, just kind of
the demo work.
What? No, it's not going to be any demo, hardly any. We're just kind of.
Was this at your house?
No, it's at a buddy's house.
Oh, okay.
So
little rebuild, little addition, fix it up.
We're gonna fix it up a little bit. He's making basically it's an entertainment room. It's gonna have a theater, like he's got a projector, big screen TV, big screen on the wall kind of thing.
And why are we doing the podcast here?
I don't know. Yeah.
Can you imagine that? We'll have our Facebook Live up there on the projector screen.
It's big. I mean, it's like. That whole wall pretty much is the TV.
You got a place we could put a green screen and we can start making videos. What do you think?
Yeah, it's possible there.
Yeah, that would be cool.
You can get those 1080 real cheap these days.
Yeah,
I'm making all kind of noise in there now.
Spend a little money.
I was kind of trying to talk him into putting a gun range down there because it's all concrete everywhere.
So let me tell. And it's a basement, right?
Oh yeah.
So let me tell you what I wanted to do at my house. And when I lived in Filer and I had a basement. My wife would never let me. I wanted to go outside. I wanted to dig a trench out one side of the house. I wanted to put in one of those great big like galvanized tin whistle deals, the big pipes, and then I wanted to cover it back with dirt. And I wanted to go down at the end, so you're just shooting right into the earth. But I wanted to arrange like a pulley system, and I wanted to put a target at the end and cut a hole out of my basement so I could stand there. How cool would that be?
I don't see anything wrong with that.
That would be freaking sweet. If I could have got the wife's okay, I would have done that in a heartbeat. I mean, I was downstairs, like I kind of had the circle drawn out on the wall. I was like ready to go.
Whoa.
Man. So you should do that. You got a basement? No, you don't.
I got a crawl space, so it's not the same.
We could crawl down there and
if
shoot.
You want to do sniper practice.
We could shoot from the prone position.
I'm in a little busier neighborhood though.
My
feet are squeaking.
You're on the edge of the neighborhood though, so
I'm afraid the mic's picking it up from the snow.
It probably is a little bit, but don't worry about it.
Okay.
So, how was you're coming to the end of your vacation, aren't you, sir?
I am. It's unfortunate, so I'm gonna take another vacation in January.
burn more vacation days.
I'm burning it all up. I hadn't taken one in 15 years. I'm made up my mind. I will no longer keep any of it.
No, burn it all up.
I'll get rid of it as fast as I can.
And I could tell you're kind of getting you wanted to work on your shooting, but I could tell maybe you're kind of getting a little bored because I get this text late this afternoon. Let's shoot a couple magazines before the podcast.
Well, I'm starting to get a little gun fever. I've been
hanging out with us too much.
Yeah, probably.
I saw a new handgun that excited me, and I'm like, ooh, and I almost did a impulse buy, and instead I went and checked on it, and then I've been watching
You've been watching YouTube videos?
2 days worth of gun reviews and different stuff. So I'm like, hey, let's do some shooting, and I'm ready to start shopping and shooting, and yeah.
So you came over and we put another two. Well, you put about 4 magazines. So it gets dark.
About 2.5.
Gets dark at what time?
3.5.
Yeah.
What time does it get?
5, I don't know.
Like 5:10, 5:11?
Yeah, probably.
He rolls in at 5 to 5.
Oh, wow.
We got them all on paper, though.
Let's get her done.
Let's do some shooting.
Yeah.
So it was no messing around. It was staple up some targets and just go for it. He was able to shoot you were able to shoot your Canic.
Yeah.
Kind of get dialed in a little bit more with that.
Yeah.
He came in with a bunch of freaking
wanting to test it a little more.
a bunch of
play with
bunch
it a
of
little more.
questions.
Well, I'm
You're still knocking the cobwebs off a little.
I'm knocking the cobwebs off. I'm getting rid of some old. I tell you what, I just spent 2 days on YouTube.
So in your mind, you're shooting like a pro, weren't you?
No. And after watching YouTube, I'm like, man, you got 900 different pieces of advice that are all contradicting each other. So I'm like, all right, let me pick your brain. And it's going to take a little time now.
Right.
It's coming in. It's coming in.
No, it's coming great. It's great. So you shot yours, and I was able to try to manhandle and master the beast of a DB9.
I wasn't gonna bring that up, man.
That stupid.
I wasn't gonna do that to you.
That stupid thing. I am low and to the left by about an inch maybe.
That's a precision weapon, man.
Oh my gosh, dude, that thing just beats the live. It's this freaking big.
Yeah.
It beats the tar out of me. I cannot win with that unless I cheat. Unless I cheat and I make up, I compensate. I cannot hit the freaking bullseye with that thing. But I can pick up his Canic with my left hand and hit the freaking bullseye. I cannot hit the bullseye with that DB9. And he's going to keep bringing it over until I master
Till
that
the springs fall out of it.
I've probably shot it the most out of anyone so far.
Yeah. It's. I have. My guns are lightly used mostly.
Lightly used.
Yeah, I still have some that I've had for years. I got one that I've had for a couple of years, and I've never taken it out of the box. It's still in the box.
Oh, wow.
Still wrapped in plastic.
Which one is it?
The Shield 45. I bought it as soon as it came out, and it's still in the box.
Oh, I've got one of those. Mine's better.
How long has that been out?
Mine's the 2.0.
That's been about 2 years.
Okay, I've had it 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. So
I keep saying I'm going to shoot it.
there was a guy, I did a private class. I'm going to just focus on this. I'm sorry, guys. For some reason, I don't know if it's the freaking great. I'm experiencing the great internet outage for like the last 2 months.
CenturyLink. No,
So, yeah, it's not CenturyLink. It's Filer Mutual. So if
Oh,
anyone
yeah, well,
works
that's
for
why.
Filer Mutual, tell them to straighten their crap out. Actually, to be honest with you, what's probably happening is I probably got, let me see, I probably got one kid on an iPad, 2 kids on cell phones. My wife's probably working, and someone's probably streaming Netflix while I'm doing this.
Yeah.
So I'm a little choppy. I understand. Yeah.
Well, Cable One's good, but you got to pay $200 a month.
But if I had choice of internet, if I could have like choices of internet where I live, I would have something better. So I'm sorry, guys, if it's choppy. I don't know what to tell you. But anyhow, I had a class today. I had a private class today. A guy showed up, and he had never shot a handgun before. He shot rifles like 40 years ago. And he bought a handgun from his buddy. His buddy sold him one because his buddy needed some money. And he showed up. He'd spent like $250 on this 40 caliber Glock. I think it was a G22.
22 is full size.
Yeah, full size 40 cal Glock.
Good.
Dang, I don't even think the thing had hardly been fired. I mean, it looked brand new. And he got like 5 magazines. He got a holster, a mag pouch, a locking case for it. He actually made out like a bandit on this gun when he bought it, but he had never shot it before.
Is he law enforcement?
No.
I love picking up law enforcement models because you get extra mags.
Yeah, and no. This was
And they're generally cheaper.
This was I don't know if it came out of California. It's a California gun.
Oh.
10-round mags.
Ooh.
So,
What's
anyhow,
the point, man?
I know. He had never pulled the trigger on this gun or a handgun at all, so we started with the 40.
He needs to buy some real mags while he's here and
Yeah, he
forget to
yeah,
take them out of the vehicle on the way home.
yeah, I think he's going to. But I know he shot okay. We didn't get him dialed in. It was a 40. He shot my 9. He was a little nervous shooting, I could tell, but he had a good time. But we went over everything. He wanted to know absolutely everything. So we spent a little time on shooting. We spent time on safety, gun parts, how a bullet works, how the gun functions and operates, how to take apart the gun, how to clean the gun. I mean, he brought everything.
Wait. You taught him how to clean a gun?
I taught him how to clean a gun. Hey, breaking.
Oh, that's a good one.
And to Google the manual. How do you do that?
Breaking news. Breaking news. I cleaned 2 guns last weekend.
Are you sick?
I was for a few days. That's probably why I cleaned them.
You had time off. You had time on your hands.
I cleaned 2 guns. And I will tell you, even though I took this stupid Smith & Wesson Armors class, killed a coyote south of Buell.
Sweet.
Time I took that Smith & Wesson Armors class, it took me 20 minutes to remember how to take the slide, to release the freaking slide on that stinking Smith & Wesson 2.0, man. You got to reach in and pull that little lever. You know what I'm talking about? It took me 20 minutes.
The sear deactivation.
It took me 20 minutes to remember how to do that. I'm like looking at it. Finally had to go on YouTube and watch a video.
I'm not supposed to say this, but you can just pull the trigger like you would a Glock or something.
It wasn't working for me. I was trying. It wasn't.
Yeah, Smith & Wesson probably jumped out of their shoes if they heard me say that.
Yeah, they're going to take away your certification.
Yep.
So anyhow, I did clean some guns. Oh, and my XDM that I've had for like 6 or 7 years, the one that I've shot like probably 10,000 rounds through, it had a trigger.
Did you clean it?
Not
your
very
XD? Is that the one you're talking about?
XDM.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that picture?
The roll pin that was all
See
cracked.
That?
Yeah.
And, I'll have to show it to you. In fact, I posted a picture on Facebook. I'll throw it up there again. There's a roll pin on the top of the slide. This is a fake gun here. It's on the top of the slide that even when you dry fire it and pull the trigger, the roll pin will start to work out. Pulled the freaking roll pin out. It is almost completely split. It almost came out in 2 pieces. So I got to send that back, see if they'll cover that, or I'm just going to go find a roll pin somewhere. But yeah, did a little maintenance. Maintenance is a good thing every now and then.
Yeah.
The guy asked me, he goes, what do I need to do if I need to take it apart more than this? More
Send
than
it to somebody.
I said, take it to a gunsmith, sir, because I barely got this apart.
Find somebody.
So
people you know trust.
Mark's typing over there, so we'll let him answer the fan base.
I think he's emailing his mom, man.
Yeah, not on that internet connection. He's not.
No, so he killed a coyote with his M&P shield that he bought from D&B.
Sweet.
And so I just said that's great for the Roadrunner.
There you go.
There
you go.
Yeah.
So do you have some thoughts from behind the gun counter today,
I do.
Mr. Mark?
This is actually, I encounter this almost every day, and I recommend everybody does this. Sounds like Tarver's done a really good job at it. Research your firearms. If you are interested in purchasing a firearm or a type of firearm, such as like a concealed carry category, research them. Do some comparative. This versus that or something.
Just come down and ask you questions.
You can, and I'll tell you.
It's good, man. What's good?
Isn't that why you're there, Mark?
Yeah, I'll tell you. But it's. I like to get a couple opinions on it. Watch a few reviews, see what everybody says about them. It pays. It really does pay to do your research.
Like I've done on my PD10, my PD10, and I'm still waiting.
I mean, even if it's like cost of magazines and stuff like that. If you want extra stuff, find out how much that stuff is.
Greg.
So when the PD10 comes out, you're gonna wait and see some reviews.
Frick, no, I'm buying that. I've been waiting.
It will be mine.
I've been
waiting.
The guy who created the PD10 seems to think it's a pretty awesome gun. I'm just gonna go off his and buy it.
Just go steal his.
Yeah.
I mean, don't steal. That's not.
He's quicker on the draw than me.
Yeah. You might
borrow. Just borrow it from him.
Yeah. So do a little research. It pays to know what you're buying.
Yes, it does.
I'm sure the guys from the behind the gun counter, they don't mind helping. But do some educating of yourself before you go in there, so you don't look like a complete tool when you walk in the door.
Well, yeah, it's not just that, and if you're not comfortable with it, then by all means come down and get your hands on it and feel, see if you like it or not. And I'll tell you what you want to know, but it does pay to watch a few videos or, read a few blogs or something,
So can I come down to D&B Supply when I'm looking to buy and ask to fondle your gun?
Not my gun, but
okay.
Their guns, yeah.
Gotcha.
Sometimes I go in and just ask stupid questions. and just to see what they're going to say.
To find out where you want to buy the guns?
Well, no, because they know I come in and just buy crap all the time. They're like, yes, sir, that's a good question.
People used to see Tarver coming, and it was like the goal to get the new salesman to sell the firearm.
They had a new guy. They'd throw him at me. I'm like, all right, what are you selling, man? What do you got? What do you got? If it's interesting, I'll buy it. And so far, I got a lot of guns that they're okay. I'm dialing in on this Canic, and I'm always call it a Canic. I don't care what it's supposed to be pronounced as. It's a Canic.
Yeah, I've heard it called Janik, and I'm like, where's the J?
Jonic.
Yeah.
Jonic.
I'm like, where's the J?
And if you want me to call it a Jonic, put a J on it. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm just at the range. Just come over here and touch my Jonic.
Whoa.
Did I go too far?
Yeah.
Do you want to hold my Jonic?
I'm never going to walk. I'm never going to be at that range with an empty mag.
I'm
always going to keep a couple rounds.
Let me
empty? Yeah, I'm empty.
Let me show you how to grip your Jonic.
No, get it up higher. Get a little higher.
Okay, that's enough. We've gone.
Okay, all the viewers done left.
Yeah, exactly. So, one more thing, and then we'll move on. But I posted on Facebook. I actually got on Monday. It was on Christmas Eve. I got my UTM rounds. I got my my simmunitions in.
A Christmas miracle.
It was a Christmas miracle, and I pissed off people in the process. I think they pretty much just sent them to me.
Would you shut up and leave us alone?
Pretty much that's it. So I put everything together. It took me a little while to get the conversions on the lowers to actually function. So that's right. So what I did is I got 2 dedicated lowers, complete lowers. I bought 2 conversions, and those firearms have never had an actual round in them except for the simmunitions rounds, and they aren't going to. They're going to stay that way. I'm going to buy separate magazines for them. I'm going to buy separate holsters for them. You name it, they are going to stay like that. So I think that's the safest way to do it. So
definitely,
we have been in a little bit of discussion, and we got a little bit more to do. I'm just rounding up some insurance and some liability waivers. Hopefully,
and some victims.
Hopefully by springtime, if not earlier, I'll have some classes put together, and yeah. But until then, and I haven't posted them up yet, so keep an eye out for them. I have posted, or we've each got shot with these. We shot each other with these. I figured I was going to take one for the team. I posted up on Facebook that I got these, and I had a lot of people jumping on there saying, "Oh my gosh, those hurt so bad." And when I was in the military, I had to wear like plates, and I wore everything, chest plates or whatever, a vest, and because they hurt so bad, that's going to freaking hurt. And people were believing these. I was like, no, I don't think so.
That's an outright lie.
They do leave the barrel at 375 feet per second, but I went with UTM because it is the least. It hurts the least. You need the least amount of protection. They recommend, helmet, face shield, whatever. And as far as clothing, 2 and long sleeves, but 2 layers of loose fitting clothing, because that's going to take a lot of the whomp out of it when it hits you, a lot of the power out of it. So I got shot with it. I didn't think it was that bad. You got shot with it. What did you think?
I didn't think it was terrible.
It hurts for a minute.
You feel it, like where you got hit, and I think that's kind of the point of it.
Right.
They want you to know where you get hit. You kind of get that feel,
pay to play type of thing.
It's and it is the closest thing you'll find to, live real stuff. I mean,
right.
Without actually getting hurt.
Yeah.
So you do get an adrenaline go. I mean, you were pumping yourself up.
I was a little scared because
it's a little weird for me to point the gun at you to begin with.
And you're trained not to. I mean, it's a safety thing. Obviously, It's one of the safeties. With these, you're meant to. But I'm telling you what, when you are going to go through a class with these, I think your adrenaline's going to be up high anyway. But it was weird having you, and I could tell you didn't want to point. Yeah. You didn't want to point the gun at me. So how did it feel for you, Tarver?
It was weird. I'm like. It felt like I was on a YouTube video. I'm like, okay, go ahead.
No, and that's like you're looking through those goggles.
Oh yeah,
and you almost feel like you're just watching something play out on a screen.
Yeah,
but you're like it's almost like a virtual reality almost.
It was weird.
And then you feel it and you're like, whoa,
I was kind of in the middle of talking when you pulled the trigger and I was like, oh, ow, you did it.
Yeah. Well, I was bracing for it and I was ready and I'm like, this is crazy. This guy's pointing a gun at me. Because you see
the end
what
of the
you
barrel
see is
and
a
everything.
Glock pointing at you.
That's all
That's
you
exactly what you see.
And the end of the barrel is not orange. It is not anything. Now, the slide and the rest of the parts of the gun are blue, so you definitely know. And these guns are actually set up so it won't even accept an actual round.
Right.
It'll only accept this kind of ammo. It'll stay out of battery. You can't even fire it. It won't even load it all the way, which is a good thing.
Good.
Yes.
It's just a good thing because what this is, it's a 9mm case and it's necked down to a 22, so it won't even fire live. I'm going to have no live rounds. I mean, I'm going to a certain extent, I think I'm going to need to almost like pat people down. Knives, guns, nothing extra on you, no keys, no anything. When people take these classes, because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how real it's going to get for people. But other than that, kind of fun. Shot the tree with it. Got shot with it. Shot Mark with it. Shot Tarver with it. Tarver, you didn't get to shoot anyone with it. Do you feel bad?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
The funny part was sitting there mentally bracing for it.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh shit, I'm about to get shot.
And I can't do this right now because we're struggling with our Wi-Fi signal and internet strength and whatever. So as soon as we get done with the podcast, I'll go ahead and post those videos up so everyone can take a look at them. They're pretty interesting. I was going to do it live, but I thought I might cry. So
well, it's just it's a strange thing.
It is a strange thing.
It's a whole lot of awkwardness pointing a gun at somebody and shooting somebody, and then the other guy sitting there saying, "Go ahead." And
we were relatively close too.
Yeah.
I will say though, we did follow the safety rules, and we all put on face masks and whatnot. I mean, I'm going to be safe about this. I don't want anyone to lose a freaking eye or take one in the cheek or the nose or
up the nose.
Yeah. So you're not going to kill someone with these, but it's going to leave it might be a little bit of a bruise. I can't tell.
It's a little sting. It'll leave a red mark anyway.
Yeah, it will. So
it's a nice little sting, and 2-3 seconds later, it's gone.
Yeah.
It really dissipates fast.
Yeah.
It lets you know you've been hit, and it's gone. It's not like something that keeps on bothering you or something like that.
I'm trying to let Mark to let me shoot him in the knuckles.
That hurts.
But he won't go for it.
No, it hurts. He's just an airsoft gun.
Why'd you do that?
I should have just shot him in the knuckles.
I'll tell you what, once I put my gloves on, then I'll let you do it.
So anyhow, looking
10-ounce boxing gloves.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that. I think it's gonna be fun once we get something put together.
Yeah.
So. Looking at some other classes, won't talk about them yet with some other rounds. I think you probably got my text messages I sent you with the video. So
yeah, I started into the video and
just think on that.
Then a customer showed up at the gun counter. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. I don't watch my videos when I'm at the gun counter.
Nope, no problem.
Or I do, maybe.
We got some other stuff in the works, I think. So, Mr. Tarver, do you have any? You know what pisses me off?
I do. I do have a thing that pisses me off.
Segment.
Well. It's part of a bigger story. And you're gonna have to give me a minute before everybody attacks me, because this ain't gonna be pretty. I saw a new handgun, and I wanted it.
Did you buy it?
I did not buy it. I almost bought it. It angers me when I see something better than what I have, because then I feel like, look at all the money I wasted on the crap I got, and now I want this. So I almost bought it, but I went, and I'm like, no, let's wait. I'm going to go and do some research on it. It's a good name. It's a SIG P365. Can't go wrong, right?
That's the one everyone wants, right?
Yeah, yep. I guess.
That is probably the hardest gun to find, handgun-wise, or anyway. Right now.
I know where one's at because I left it there. And I want it, and as soon as they make it work, I'm going to buy one. But they do not work.
Tarver was not happy with the 365.
I'm not pleased with it. And this is what pisses me off, because I'm watching these YouTube reviewers, and while they're shooting it, chunks of metal and parts are falling off this handgun. It is disintegrating in their hands, and they're saying, "Yeah, it's a pretty good gun."
Have you seen these videos, Mark?
I haven't seen that one.
Well, I'm exaggerating a little bit. Anyway, they're the biggest problem you got there's a lot of failure to loads. There's a lot, even more, failure to ejects. There's firing pins breaking left and right. And if you look at them, if you look at people who are looking at the ammo after they shoot, it's, sometimes you get a little marking on the firing pin other than the strike.
Right.
No, these are striking down and digging all the way to the side to the brass.
Really?
And this is a MIM firing pin. All right, it's not solid piece of steel; it's a MIM, which normally is not a problem, but it's dragging across there till it hits the brass of the casing, and there's a lot of complaints about that. What have they had, like 3 recalls on the thing?
They've had a few recalls on them already. But
SIG is now officially a crap producer. They're crap.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Yes. Tarver said that, and all the hate mail goes to Tarver.
I'm sorry.
I will forward it to his Twitter account.
I have 4 or 5 SIGs. I have I don't even remember the name of it, 226. I have a 911. I have a AR pistol. I have several SIGs. I have a 911 22 also.
According to, I can't remember which magazine it was, but the 365 won the gun of the year.
Yeah. And as soon as it'll work, I'm sure it will be.
So what's your thoughts on it? Have you shot one?
I haven't shot one. I mean, we've had a couple come through.
Did anyone brought them back or said bad things about them?
Eric at the gun counter, he bought one and he had to send it back for the recall. But that was
which recall?
Probably the first one.
Hadn't sent it back for the other ones, or they fixed everything at one time?
Well, they're supposedly, after a certain date, they supposedly had them all fixed. But
they're still, even the ones current right now, they're still dragging hard on that primer.
Uh-huh.
And some of them are still having springs that are brushing against the magazine. And I'm like, good God, SIG. This is a SIG. This is what we expect.
That's kind of what you get when you cram like 10-round capacity into such a small gun. I mean,
well, that's why I wanted it. It was what is it, 12 rounds?
Is that
you can get a 12-round?
Is that why people are buying it? Is because of capacity?
Yeah.
I've never.
It's smaller than a G43.
Held one of these. I don't think I've
got more
looked
capacity.
At one.
Yeah,
I'm not interested because it's too freaking small.
It is small.
I don't like small guns. I like that DB9 though. Don't know why.
Man,
you can. You can get the 12-round mag. It's from SIG makes it. It's not an aftermarket.
Yeah. SIG.
It is a factory SIG.
Am I getting hate?
No, you're getting 2 new comments. I want to see what they are.
I'm telling you, man. I tell you what.
Okay.
A high point don't do that. A high point shoot.
A high
point, yeah.
But it's not as pretty, but it'll shoot.
No, that's 3 times the size. But
so that was the gun of the year.
I was angry.
But it ain't Tarver's gun of the year.
No,
that was I don't know, Guns and Ammo or whatever it was, but that was.
It was several guns of the year. Yeah. Different magazines.
Right.
Yeah. And
I think a lot of it had to do with sales and stuff like that.
And it was difficult to find. Sweet if they ever make it work.
Yeah.
I want it, but it don't work.
So if we're talking like guns of the year, I'm not going to go with gun of the year. I think the most innovative gun of the year, to be 100% honest with you, as an instructor, the one I really like is that stinking 380 EZ.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
Such a niche market gun. You've got the early lightweight slide. You've got which lets people who are strength challenged in their arms, elderly, people who don't shoot often. It lets them rack the slide without fighting with it. It's not a little 380. It's like the size of a shield, so it feels good in your hand. You can get a full grip on it. It's got the grip safety, which is added safety for someone who maybe is nervous about safety. But it also forces a new shooter, someone who's not as experienced, to actually grip the firearm correctly.
Yep.
I've had them in class where people are like, these ladies have them, and they're, well, it's not going bang. I'm like, well, it's because your grip is loose. Let's tighten up your grip. You're going to enjoy shooting a lot more.
That is loose.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they get tired, or they're holding it.
They get down
at a wrong
too far
angle or something. So it forces them to grip it correctly, and it shoots. People really enjoy that firearm.
Do you have to press that thing in? Usually, as long as flesh is touching it, it's in.
You got to be. What happens is new shooters sometimes they don't get their hand.
They don't get the right purchase. They get too
far down.
Okay,
so they don't get the whole thing because it's sticking out more up
here.
It forces them to get a nice choke on. A nice choke on it. And by the way, for those watching, this is a BB gun. By the way, okay. I'm flashing it around here. It's not a real gun, but it forces them to choke up on it. And I know a couple guys who bought it for their wives, and they they've actually ended up carrying it around. They love the gun that much.
I think XD used to have that. I used to have one, so I bought some Hogue
XDMs
grips.
have the grip safeties.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is it the XDM?
Well, any of the XD series.
Any of the
have
XDs do? Okay,
yeah.
I have an XDM. So,
Yeah.
So I got
Any
some
of the
Hogue
XDs
grips
do.
and just wrapped up on it. So, yeah.
So
get away
now
with that.
on that easy slide thing though, SIG actually had one out for a while. It was the 290 RS.
okay, I remember
That
that.
was a very easy slide, but that was the only thing it had going for it was the easy slide.
But
the
it was-
rest of the gun was crappy.
It was so much smaller too.
Well, it was a little smaller. The trigger sucked. The grip was horrible. Like it was the worst grip ever.
I know the slide was amazing.
The slide was amazingly easy, but that was it. I mean,
Yeah.
so I think I agree with you. In my opinion, that M&P Shield 380 Easy is probably the best innovative gun of the year.
Well, it also on the magazine, it's got that little thing that 22s have,
Yeah.
that little cheater bar that you
Yeah,
grab with
push
your
the
thumb
follower down,
and push
yeah.
the follower down,
Right.
which is amazing for new shooters.
Right. Well, and that's
amazing.
That's honestly one of the biggest complaints I hear about the Shield is it's hard to load.
It is until they grab the 380.
Right. And I mean, I don't know why I shouldn't be like this, but I can't really fathom how it's hard to load. But I've been doing it for so long. Maybe my technique is
I don't know
better,
about.
but I don't know.
I don't know about the shields, but I do know on the 2.0s. I've noticed on the 2.0s when you load the full size, when you load the magazine, it's not just a press down and back. You actually kind of have to take that first one and roll it in and down at the same time. Have you noticed that?
I don't have any problem.
I don't know if it's the way the follower's shaped, but I have to put it on the side and push
Yeah.
back and then down to get it in.
Huh.
It's the only one I've ever had to do that with. Nothing wrong with it. It's that,
Like
That-
it's different. It's different.
did they actually fix? I don't have a 2.0. At least I don't think. No. Did they actually polish out the trigger?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I mean, is it nice? Would
Yeah.
you still
Yeah.
change it?
It's not Apex trigger.
Is it
nice.
Canic
No.
trigger?
It's better than a Canic trigger.
No way.
No.
I like it.
I like the trigger. Don't get me wrong. I really do. But I don't think it's as good as the Canic.
I don't know. I really like it for me, but I guess that's all what I guess that's real subjective. What,
Yeah,
what do
yeah.
you
Yeah,
like? What do you
that's
like?
true.
What do I like?
It's nice. It's definitely better than the first generation. Just the regular M&P. It's
Yeah.
definitely better.
Because I was about to be angry again. Because 2.0, it should be 0.5. Because they always give these incremental little steps.
Now this is based off of a really just
and I love the shield. I have
generic
4 of them.
trigger measure.
Right.
But from what I measured between the first gen and the second gen was about 1.5 pounds difference.
Oh yeah.
So
So what is the second gen pulling at?
about 5 is what I measured it at.
And it's
That's a nice trigger.
but it's nice. It breaks really nice. I like it, and the reset on it's real nice.
Oh,
too.
the reset's really nice. It's a real tactile,
Yeah, reset.
reset on it. You can hear it and feel it and everything.
So anyhow, I didn't like the first.
I gotta get a 2.0.
I'd hold the first gen, and I never did have one. But when I'd hold it, I didn't like it. And then I went in one day when they had the 2.0, and you're like, hey, remember you and who's that? Mark. Kevin. You're Mark.
That's
Sorry.
me.
You were both in there, and you're like, oh, you got to hold that. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And you pulled it out, and it felt super nice. It points really well. It feels really good in the hand. I really like the aggressive stippling on it because I usually have to put a rubber Hogue or Packmeyer just because I like it to lock into my hand. I don't
Yeah.
have to do that with the 2.0. That aggressive,
Now
And
you-
they have
Locks
the 4 different back straps. You can.
right?
I mean, it's just all around. It's better than first gen for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
So what's your? You actually, do you want to say something?
yeah, you got the 45.
I've got the 45 Shield, and then I got
Right.
the 9mm 2.0.
You got the Shield 2.0.
Yes. No. Well, yeah, the 40
technically the 45 is
is the new
kind of the
version.
predecessor of the 2.0. That's what they base the 2.0
Shield.
off of
Oh, okay, gotcha. So, yeah, it's got the aggressive
because it's
stippling.
got the stippling.
Yeah, it's got the stippling. Does it have the trigger?
I'm not sure on that.
Because I'm going to go get it out of the box if it does.
Yeah, I'm not sure it does. I mean, it might. But
Yeah.
from
I'd
my
have to double
understanding,
check
they
that.
were using those triggers in it. But I mean,
It's a
I don't
Shield.
know. It's a Shield. It
So
doesn't say
how-
2.0. I don't know.
When you popping that big 45 out of that little handgun, how does it feel?
It's not bad.
It's not bad. You know it's a 45, but it's not bad.
yeah.
Okay.
For a small gun, you don't.
For
Yeah.
me, okay, here's the thing. For me, it's not I don't know. I've kind of got a larger hand, and so single stacks in me don't always get along really well. If it's a single stack, it's got to have a real long grip to it. Does that make sense? So even on the 9 shield or the 45 shield, it feels okay, but it's still weird because it's a single stack.
Right.
I feel like I need a little more purchase with my hands, on that. But I mean, I can shoot it. It's okay. It doesn't feel fantastic to me, but that's just because it's not what I like. But I'd carry around a full. I mean, if I liked one of those great big old Berettas, the big 9, the big metal ones. If I like that, I'd freaking appendix carry that sucker all day long. If I liked it enough, I'll appendix carry or daily carry large firearms. I have no problem doing that. I'd rather do that than a small one. So, but that's just my preference. So, what about you, Mr. Mark? What gun do you, I won't say gun of the year, most innovative gun of the year. Is there a gun that you'd pick out for the year?
I do. And I'm basing it purely off of sales. I mean, and you're going to hate me for saying this, but it's that Taurus G2C.
Oh, Lord.
We sell a boatload of those things.
I can't be biased against Taurus anymore when SIG's putting out a gun they don't shoot.
I would rather somebody buy a Taurus G2C than a SCCY, though.
Their triggers are so crappy, though.
They're way better than an SCCY, though.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, they're by far better.
So you're going by numbers sold.
Numbers sold. That's, I mean, just basing it off of.
They're inexpensive.
They are.
They're like $200
for what you get.
Huh?
Yeah, it's like $229 for what you get. Pretty decent gun.
I will say I felt like buying one just because they're freaking cheap.
Yeah. If they could get rid of that little false trigger, that little niche in their trigger,
right?
I think they'd be fine.
I wonder if you could have if you could drop some other trigger in there.
I've been trying to find stuff. Like I've researched that a little bit, and I hear yes and I hear no. I hear people say, yeah, let's do it, and then other people are like, no, don't do that. That's not going to work.
What if you put a little toothpaste in there and ran that trigger a little bit? That's the old
fluoride trick.
That's the old nickel 10-cent trick or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know.
What? It's
I think my favorite one of the year would be the 380 Easy.
Yeah, that's a great gun.
Yeah,
great gun. So, well, what's next, boys? Anyone got any New Year's resolutions or anything? Any guns that you want to buy in the future? Anything that you've heard that's coming up?
I want that SIG as soon as it starts working.
Okay, I'll hold you to it. What about you, Mark? Is there any cool stuff coming up you want?
Probably not any of the new Glocks.
Oh my gosh!
You really can't.
So go ahead.
I do like the Glocks. I really do, but until they actually come out with, what would amaze me is if Glock did something just completely off the wall, like come out with a 1911 or come out with a lineup of like Glock rifles. Like HK has a.
That might be cool.
I mean, if they did something like that, then maybe I'd start giving them props again.
They need to fire the people in charge of innovation over there. Although, you know what? They're going to sell 1 million of them.
They are just based on their name alone.
Stupid guns with the same numbers.
Well, they changed the game so much
but
when they came in.
Everyone was
mad.
Everyone was getting in trouble for copying them. Nobody copies them anymore.
No.
They've moved on, and they're bigger and better things. And I'm not trying to wave this knife at you.
It's kind of hard to pick what gun you want to pick up when SHOT Show's right around the corner. That's
what I think a lot of people are waiting for.
SHOT Show.
If there's anything revolutionary, which, I mean, we talked about this it's been a while, but.
What, SHOT Show?
No, like the innovation in guns. I mean, it's just kind of gone, just gone plateaued a little bit. I mean, there's really nothing new.
What's going to be next? What can they do next that they haven't done already?
Right. I mean,
what's the
aside
next
from
step?
a laser gun or something.
I mean, we can touch on that again. I mean, what can they change? I mean, what
you've got double action, single actions. You've got the internal hammers. You've got the bullet strikers. That's it.
The bullet delivery system is what's next? I mean, they could upgrade the bullets.
Everybody's gun
could be upgraded.
And you can argue everybody's guns are the same. I mean, you really could. And
they kind of are.
They kind of are. Yeah. If you really look at them.
And maybe Glock just figured they don't want to put any more money into it because we've reached the pinnacle.
Until there's something new coming out. I mean, a rail gun, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, what else? I mean, what else could you do? Really.
If I could answer that question, I'd have.
That's right.
That's the thing.
$1 billion answer. Yeah.
That's yeah.
I mean, I think it's. I don't know. Now's the time, to be honest with you. Now's the time for some of these oddball companies, and you guys are gonna roll your eyes when I say this. Well, there's Keltec hasn't come out with any handguns for a while.
They haven't, but they're one of the most innovative companies out there.
They try.
Might not always work the best, but
Yeah,
man, they're trying.
Well, yeah.
At least they're doing something different.
Well, there's Keltec. There's Lionheart Industries. They could start. They could jump in here and try to bite something off because at least they'd be something different.
Right.
There's, if Avidity Arms ever gets that PD-10 out there, that's supposedly different. Now's the time for those kind of companies to jump in because...
But even that PD-10, if you look at it, just the pictures,
right.
it still seems like the same as everything
It does.
else.
The only thing about it is I think they've taken a lot of time to develop a gun that was perfect for concealed, or what they consider is perfect for concealed carry.
Right.
Full, I won't say it's a full-size gun, but it's a big enough gun you can hold. It's a single stack. It's not a subcompact. It's kind of the mix between a compact and a full-size. 1911 mags, cloth sights, really aggressive stippling, really aggressive grooves and stippling up on the slide, so you can grab it with a wet or a bloody hand, if you had to.
How many does it hold?
I'd have to look again. I think it's up to like 10. It's a single stack.
Right.
So I think it's 10, maybe 7 or 8. But for the average concealed carry holder, what are they going to? The shield. Nothing wrong with the shield, but they're going to a shield. A shield is not a small gun, but it's not a large gun either. In fact, I think for my hands, it's a little too small. So you get something a little bit bigger, something with a little more purchase, and it's still a 9mm, but it's a little larger, it's thin, it's light, not a lot of rounds, because the average person is only carrying a shield anyway. I pointed the Glock, but you know what I'm saying. They're only carrying a shield anyway, so why wouldn't you want something a little bit bigger that's still thin? You're still going to have the same amount of rounds. Might be a little easier to shoot. You know what I'm saying?
I think a lot of people want smaller, though. I think that's the big draw of the 365.
I think that's where the concealed carry guns actually have gotten off track. I hate that. I do
too.
I hate that they're coming out with small guns.
Those little 380 pocket pistols.
Oh, yeah.
I
think that's pointless.
Even the shields, to a certain extent, because what it's doing is forcing the concealed carrier to get lazy. They're trying to get them all. Well, it is. It's trying to push comfort and ease, and everyone can have a gun. We can all carry. You don't even know it's there. You should know you're carrying a gun if you're carrying a freaking gun.
Well, there's a lot of other draws to a shield. I mean, it is smooth. It's narrow. It doesn't have anything that gets hung up, and they're low-priced, quality guns.
My G19 doesn't get hung up on anything either. How much is a shield?
Yeah, but it's a Glock.
And 379 to 429, somewhere in there.
How much is a G19? 5 something, 4 something?
550, yeah, 570.
Not that much more. You hold way more ammo.
I don't like to trigger.
I'm not picking on a Glock. I'm just picking on a full-size firearm. They're all going to be snag-free. Nothing's going to snag. They should anyway. Mm-hmm. I just don't understand the small gun market. I think it's ruined concealed carry. I really think it has. I mean, I don't know how. I'm trying to figure out how to even explain that, but I really think it's ruined concealed carry.
I know, like the Ruger LCPs, like those little
That's
tiny
small.
380.
That's what I consider small.
That's small to me.
Yeah, those are
shield. I consider
the shield.
compact.
I don't think small. Yeah, I think it more of a subcompact maybe.
Shield, you may be walking a line, but
yeah.
The small guns ruined it, dude. They really did. Right. People can't shoot them.
Well, that's the thing, and you know better than most of us because you get them at the classes.
Yeah, they think they can. They can't. They ruin shooters.
If you're gonna shoot an LCP or a pocket 380, shoot a full size gun first. Learn to shoot it before you move into a smaller gun.
I wouldn't want that. That's too small.
And if you got it, but a lot of people carry those little tiny guns around all day and things. And typically, if you're gonna shoot that, you need to be like right up and personal in front of the dude.
Oh yeah, it's a point and shoot. It's you're not aiming.
Those are belly guns.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
There's no sights on them. I mean, the Taurus Spectrum, the Ruger LCP. There's no sights on them,
and they've just ruined.
You're pretty much gonna have to point that thing and pull the trigger.
Yeah, they've just ruined. They've ruined concealed carry. The small guns are crap, and people carry them unsafely. They just drop them in their pocket. That's not cool. You need a holster. They think they can shoot them. They can't shoot them. They can't load them. The hands are so damn big when they pull the trigger, their hand flies off and ends up in front of the freaking gun. People think that they need to grip them because they're small and they're jumpy.
And they hurt.
So then they put gloves on and they almost drop the gun. I've seen it all.
Yeah.
I've seen it all.
What's funny is, like, and this is going back to Glock, but Glock has the Glock 42. And it's a little 380.
I hate those
It
guns.
fits in your pocket, right?
Yeah.
But what's the first thing somebody does with a Glock 42? They buy the extended floor plate
Yeah.
for it. And then all of a sudden, guess what? It doesn't fit in your pocket anymore.
So here's the thing. If you're going to conceal carry a gun, the barrel can be as long as you need it to. That's the part that you freaking hide. But people want these small guns, and then they do the mag extensions so they can hold on to them. I mean, it's just absolutely, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Now we got a comment on the Smith & Wesson 2.0 Compact. What's the difference in the size of a Smith & Wesson 2.0 Compact and a Shield?
So a 2.0 compact is 15 rounds. It's either a 4-inch barrel
So it's
or
a 19.
It's basically a 19. They have a 3.6-inch barrel or a 4.0,
Yeah,
which is only
19.
a quarter-inch
Right.
shorter than the full size.
Right.
But it's
It's not very
two
compact.
rounds less versus the Shield, which is 8 rounds, single stack.
Right.
So, but Morgan says he's got a 2.0 compact everyday carry with a Glock 43 as a backup sometimes, which I think as a backup gun,
A small gun's a great gun.
I think that's, yeah,
I used to carry it sounds funny, and I might get crap for it. I used to carry a backup gun on my freaking ankle.
right.
I got an ankle holster. I love to carry that. That's where I carried my fag. My fag.
Yeah, I bet you did.
9x18 fag. But I don't know. I'm just not a small gun person, and if they work for you, they work for you. But I'll teach you how to shoot whatever you bring to class. But
I mean, I carry my Glock 19 sometimes. Sometimes I carry my Shield. I mean, it's just depending on what day
I carry
want.
my Shield when I run. That's pretty much
I'm
it.
kind of like,
And that's a weight thing.
it
at
just
that point.
depends. I mean, the Shield is easy to grab. It's easy to throw on really quick. And the Glock 19, and a lot of it's my holster, but it takes a little bit longer to put on. So
My VP9, easy to slip on to and carry. I mean, for me. But whatever. And you carry a Shield?
Yeah.
Yeah. You 40?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's even got a weird caliber.
mhm.
I've been carrying it for so long. I've bought a 45 to swap out, and I just hadn't done it yet. I'm like,
Yeah, get the 9 and go with that.
I have one. I gave it away. I'll buy another one.
So, we had. I'm sorry, I'm sounding like my nose is stuffed because I just got over a cold and I don't want to sit there and in the microphone. So, yeah. There was a news story that came out today that happened locally.
Yeah, dude.
Locally, there was a law enforcement officer. He works at the jail. He accidentally or negligently or whatever you want to call it. I'll say negligent because nothing is an accident. Discharged his firearm. Now, did you read the article, Mark? Did he go to the hospital? Did he
I didn't.
hurt himself?
I just heard about it, and I don't know.
Light on details.
So what it is you can't have a firearm when you go into the jail. I go over there once a month for work. They have a sally port that you drive into or you walk into. It's before the jail, and then when you get to the jail, there's 2 sliding doors. They radio for the sliding door to open. You go in. They have to shut this one, and then they radio to open the other one.
Right.
And there's lock boxes. They have to put their guns, lock them in their lock boxes. They're not allowed to take them in there. So, unfortunately, this is what they are calling a negligent discharge. And I'm not sure how that happened. We'll probably never know. I'll try to get the lowdown when I actually go. Anyhow, I'll ask around. And what I think happened is it probably went off when he was either holstering or unholstering the firearm to leave or just showed up or
So this
or
was
what.
probably one of the road deputies because the
Yeah.
jailers aren't allowed to have them, you know. so,
Right.
okay.
And so that's where I think it probably happened. I would imagine his finger got on the trigger somehow, some way. We don't know exactly how, but the gun's not going to just go bang.
Right.
So I hope he's okay. If he got hurt, I hope he's okay and lives to see another day. And
It's not something you wish
No.
wish on anybody, and yeah,
it could happen to
it
anyone.
could happen to anybody. So it's not like we're gonna pick on anybody for it. but-
No.
That's why we train, though. That's why we practice.
Yeah, definitely practice not to.
That's why
things have,
reholstering is probably one of the more dangerous things you can actually do with the firearm. If he gets hung up on your shirt, and maybe he got hung up on a shirt or a coat or belt or something, we just don't know. So, anything else, guys? I'm running out of oxygen over here because someone else got to take over here.
Cleaning a carburetor, and
Oh, that was you didn't even. It smelled like gas,
the
and
fumes and
carb cleaner in here.
Oh boy!
I plugged in my heater and turned on the baseboards and went, I don't know if that's a good idea.
Yeah,
but you know what? I left them on.
Oh.
I just opened the door. It was okay.
Saw one story today where they got the magazine. You're supposed to turn them in New Jersey. Any
yes.
What is it? Over 10? Is that what it is?
Oh, the high cap,
over 10 rounds. High cap.
Yeah, high cap magazine. Nobody's turned one in yet.
What?
Not a single soul has turned one in. Imagine
one.
that.
Are they trying to figure out what they're going to do or how they're going to attempt to get these? Have they said?
They have not said. At first, they were saying they, wouldn't have a problem going door to door. They got some blowback on that. Then they said, "Well, we're not going to go door to door," and so not one person has turned in one magazine yet. So,
isn't this kind of like the rifle thing somewhere? Isn't there? They were supposed to turn their rifles somewhere a while back, and like no one or register their rifle or something. Like nobody ever did, or not very many people.
Yeah, very few.
Probably like Connecticut or something.
So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. They pass it. They don't have a plan to enforce it.
Yeah, I'm rooting for them. I mean, lock up everybody. Lock up.
Yeah.
So at the risk of getting myself in trouble, we were given this piece of paper at work that we had to sign, acknowledging that we would not sell any semi-automatic long gun to a person under the age of 21 from Washington, because that's effectively their law.
Do you guys have stores in Washington?
No, but we are allowed to sell to states, like that, to people from states that border Idaho as far as rifles go. But yeah, any semi-auto long gun. Now that includes shotgun, like a semi-auto shotgun.
Yeah, that includes all the semi-automatic.
Which I'm like, that just, I don't know. I'm just dumbfounded
crazy.
by that.
They've lost it in Washington, and they're fixing to get a whole bunch more. And they've got the people there to vote it in.
Well, I've never have liked that anyway. I mean, they had that. You've always had that where you can't sell. You're limited on what you can sell people with a California driver's license. I understand that that's the law, and they want you to. I can understand that, but that puts an awful lot of responsibility on the gun seller, where you got 50 different states that you got to keep up with. Right. That's ridiculous.
How often do you guys have someone come from out of state and buy a long rifle or something?
Well, I mean, usually it's from Nevada if they do.
Right.
I mean, I've had Utah occasionally, but
right.
Not usually Washington. I think I had one Oregon.
Did you? Okay.
But the thing that gets me, I'm maybe I'm just missing the point here, but I'm pretty sure federally the Second Amendment says that you're allowed to. Right? And I just don't understand.
Not if you live in Washington.
I don't understand that.
Well, here you're supposed to abide by federal laws and state laws.
Yeah. The form.
This state.
The form you fill out when you buy a firearm is a federal form.
But federally, you're not supposed to smoke marijuana. But if you go to Washington, you're allowed to.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like a flip-flop.
I don't get it.
I don't know. I know.
Granted, I'm all for states' rights and everything. I am. I really am. But when there's that one federal, I call it a law personally. I know it's a right, but I think it should be a law.
Right.
You cannot mess with somebody's rights.
I'll tell you what, I got one better than that. The federal law, all the federal law and all the federal statutes, all of them say that if you pull that trigger one time and one round comes out, that's a semi-automatic. Why are they banning bump stocks and taking on triggers? Because they don't like them. There's no law whatsoever they have behind them. They just think it's scary.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they're going to reclassify what's scary, that's a dangerous, dangerous road we're going down.
I'm scared of Democrats.
Well, they're doing all
Can
kinds.
Can we ban them?
Yeah, they're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So somewhere over in some little town over in New York State, they're actually, these gun buybacks we hear about every now and then. They're actually doing a gun buyback. They're actually trading toys for toys, encouraging kids to turn in their
Water
super
guns?
soakers, their water guns,
my
their
goodness.
paintball guns, their Nerf guns, their wood rubber band guns.
Don't want to shoot them little suction cups at the TV no more.
Yeah, well, what it is they said that they hope now that if they teach kids that guns, if they can get guns out of the hands of kids right now, that when they get older, they won't think it's cool or fun to carry one around.
Hey, what the previous Attorney General say? Got to brainwash people
Yeah.
nonstop.
And so
Eric Holder.
they're grooming these kids. That's what they're doing. They're grooming these kids.
Brainwash.
And when they're little, and it started in the school when the finger guns.
Yeah, well, they're
Everything.
they're scaring them.
Yeah.
Instead of scaring them, why not prepare them? You know,
Well,
I mean,
I think I forget the numbers, and I think it was like I don't even have it. It was a huge number of guns that stop people from getting killed every freaking year. Every year in this country, it's just astronomical number. Someone with a gun. Guns help someone live. It stops a crime.
I want to say it was like
from,
96%.
Yeah, it was.
It was
crazy
really high.
number.
Yeah.
So now you take guns away, and then these people have to rely on the government. These kids grow up relying on the government for everything, even their protection. We freaking lost. We've lost. They're never going to vote for guns. They're never going to vote for anything. If it doesn't come from the damn government, they
here's
don't
a good
care.
example for you. Just recently, last couple days, CenturyLink had this huge outage, right?
Oh,
Internet crashing all over the place.
Right.
Yeah.
No law
Do
enforcement.
you
in some
realize?
spots.
Do you realize, like, how freaking crazy everybody went
Oh yeah.
when they lost internet?
Oh yeah.
I mean, stores were shutting down because they couldn't function.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wonder how society functions if they lose internet or
They couldn't
electricity or
Some
something.
states, some cities, there was no, like, you couldn't get a hold of even the police.
Yeah.
Right,
No
yeah.
911.
No 911.
Yeah, well, even the police forces couldn't dispatch anybody to anything
right.
because they were all using their MDCs or all their computers, and instead of radios.
Right.
I mean, you can still use a radio with an internet outage. You know.
Well,
Right.
store security, stores alarms. I mean, they don't go through phone lines anymore. It's all internet.
Yeah.
So if the internet goes down, it's the wild, wild west, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's like, you want to pay with cash? Can we do that?
Get the calculator out.
There's no police. There's no alarms. There's no cameras. There's no nothing.
So speaking of places that, kind of that don't have firearms possibly or whatever, I was on Facebook trying to go to bed the other night, and I would check Facebook, which is a bad damn idea. If I want to get some sleep, it's a bad idea. So on one of these ultra trail running pages that I was on, this lady gets on there and says she runs at night sometimes. She runs early in the mornings. She runs by herself, and she just, with everything, the way the world's going, she wanted to carry a firearm.
Makes sense.
Yeah, makes
Perfectly
sense. She wants to
sensible
protect herself
position.
if she has to. How do you carry it? What does everyone carry? That kind of thing. She had these questions. There's a wrong page to ask that stupid question. And I got on there, and people were agreeing with her some, and most people were just ripping, oh, it must suck to live where you think you got to carry a gun with you. And then I realized there's a lot of people from outside this country that are on this page.
In shithole countries.
Yeah. And so I got on there and said, hey, look, I gave her a link to another kind of a friendly page. Go over there and you can message me and I'll answer any questions. And then I got on there and said, hey, man, I'm a guy. I run. I carry a 45 with me. I carry it on chest pack when I run. And I had people, jackholes, coming out of the freaking woodwork. And I didn't get to bed for like an hour and a half after I wanted to because I couldn't put my phone down. Just attacking me.
It's those internet trolls.
Oh my gosh. Well, some of these people like were from other countries, some lady in Norway, and how can you live with yourself? Or how do you carry that when you run? And I thought she was legitimately asking me a question. I said, and I got a chest pack that I carry. And
I'm answering questions here.
I carried it on my chest. And she goes, so it's so much easier to kill people with? Like, what the freak?
Freaking Norwegian.
Yeah, because I run around killing people all the time.
Yeah. And then one guy jumped on there and said, so you run with a gun? What do you run with gold chains and you're afraid of those man rapers? And I'm like, so I got on
Everybody's afraid of a man raper.
there. So I got on there.
Who's not afraid of them?
That's right. I'm afraid of a man raper. But so instead of jumping on there and arguing with him, I jumped on there and I said, well, first of all, Tarver, we talked about this. He knows what. I got on there and I commented, first of all, the gold chains slow me down when I run.
Yeah.
Second of all, the man rapers are really bad this time of year, and you've never seen me in my running tights. And they freaking didn't like that at all, man. They didn't like that at all. But my gosh, the hatred, the vile hatred that was spewed to that poor lady. To that poor lady that had one simple question. Just coming out of the freaking
That's not
woodwork.
right. You know, people need to just get a life. And
oh, yeah.
I didn't think we were allowed to single out man rapers. I
Well,
thought we were supposed to accept them and all that stuff.
I'm
I
accepting.
think you have to be gender neutral.
Yeah, until they get too close, and I'm going to kill them with my 45.
Well, we're not part of that crowd.
Non-specific gender rapers. We're just
right.
go there.
Well, they're coming after me because of my gold chains and my running tights. Whatever. I don't know. Just crazy. Some of the
how many stereotypes, man? This dude's just hating on everybody.
Freaking morons.
That's the thing.
Morons.
You know, on that form when you fill out the firearm, that 4473.
Yeah.
There's a man or woman. You have to.
Are
mark
you a man raper?
Male or female, right? People always say, "Well, I don't think that's right." Like there's no transgender thing on here.
John thinks I'm hot in spandex. So, John, you're that guy that's been lurking in the trees watching me when I run, aren't you? So, yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. But they have that question on the form. It says man or male or female, right? Well,
yeah.
I've heard people say, "Well, this isn't right." What about the gender neutral or whatever,
DNA, baby.
And I'm like, well, then don't answer it. Please don't answer it.
Yeah, put down whatever you want.
Or there's one part where Hispanic or Latino or not Hispanic or Latino, and they gripe about it. They're like, and they may not even be Hispanic. They're just like, well, that's not right. You can't do that to someone.
Then leave it blank.
Then don't put anything.
Let's see what happens.
Please don't put anything on there. Then I don't have to sell you the gun.
That's right.
So
I don't know. I just freaking vile. I mean, I was so amazed. I go to bed at freaking 7:00, people, and I was up till 8:30 dealing with that. Went to sleep, woke up in the morning,
and they
were still going. And then I went to work for 4 hours, and they were still going after that. It was insane. It had like 400 responses.
That's a lot of the reason why I don't comment on Facebook at all.
I'll
read the stuff, but I never comment.
I wasn't going to. I was just trying to help this poor lady out.
But then you get attacked for it.
She messaged me and said, "Hey, I appreciate your help." I said, "Hey, if you ever this is who I am. This is what I do. If you need anything, get a hold of me. I'll help you. I'll answer questions."
Yeah.
And she never has yet, but they're horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those runners are horrible freaking people.
Well, it's not just runners. I mean, they're all over the place.
That's a bunch of phonies. That's like you had the Latino question. You said it's not even Latinos that get upset about it.
No, it's not. It's just,
That's like Kwanzaa. It's the white middle school teachers are the only ones that celebrate it.
Yeah. Kwanzaa's like the youngest of all the holidays, I think.
It's young.
Yeah, they just kind of made it up. Yeah, we're going to do it this day.
Good old FBI holiday.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Too far? Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm not knocking it if that's what they want to do, but it's just kind of it feels like they're just copycatting in a way. I mean, I don't know.
No, it was completely. Anyway, we didn't get off into Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
No problem. One more thing, and then we'll wrap it up because we've been going out of just about a little over an hour now. Just something I was thinking about. I don't know. It's nothing real important, but I find it interesting how certain guns have different meanings for different people. And I don't know if you guys, we talked about, I had a rifle that was from my grandpa. I was looking through some pictures the other day. I lived in Kansas for about 6 years. Had a next door neighbor. He was a cattle rancher. He lived in town, little tiny town in Kansas. Great guy. His name was Curtis Shaw was his name. Great guy. I did some work for him, and he ended up being one of my best friends up there. An older gentleman. I'd go help him check his cattle. Spent a lot of time with him. He was there when my girls grew up and everything. And before I left there, it wasn't a big deal. I was in his garage one day, and there's this really old rusty. I don't even know what brand it is. I'd have to look, and I'll have to show it to you sometime. Rusty. The thing was so freaking rusty. Shotgun, bolt action, old single shot shotgun hanging on the wall. I said, "What is that? what is that courtesy? He goes, oh, that's whatever. You want it? It's a 410. I said, yeah, I'll take it. I took it apart. I cleaned it up. I reblued a bunch of it. It still doesn't quite work to this day because I didn't get it finished. But I've had it forever, and I think it's in my safe. And I might get it out and take a look at it. But I came across a picture of this guy, and it just kind of hit home a little bit. He actually passed away this last summer.
Oh.
Actually, just little under a year, or maybe it was in spring. I don't know. He was burning some fields. He had a bunch of acreage up there, and he was out burning some fields, and he never came home. And when they found him, he was still alive, but he got caught in like a back burn.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and he had to like get through it, and so he went through it, and he'd gone through like 3 or 4 different surgeries, and they kept him in a coma for a while. Then he came out, and he'd gone through 3 or 4 different surgeries. It was too much for him. He just didn't make it through the 4th one. A pretty sad deal. Just got to thinking about it because so I come across a picture of him with my boys when they were all little.
Right.
And I got to remembering, because I hadn't even thought about it, even when he passed away, that I had this gun from him, and I haven't seen Curtis in years anyway. I still talk to his wife on Facebook every now and then, but I've got this firearm, and it's, I think I'm going to pull it out this winter. I think I'm going to finish it up. It's just a simple 410 bolt action, but you know what? It's not even a collector's item by any means. It might be like a freaking Sears and Roebuck gun for all I know, but it's cool. It's got a memory attached to it.
Yeah.
I got my grandpa's rifle. Yeah, I didn't really know my grandpa well, but I knew this guy. I'd almost consider him like another dad or like another grandpa, but I don't know, just kind of, it's funny how guns have memories and people attached to them sometimes, even if they're just not very good guns, or maybe it's that rusty old shotgun or rifle or 22 in the back that's broken, but there's always a memory attached to it. So
yeah, pretty
interesting stuff. Do you have any firearms like that, or?
I have one that I got from my grandpa that, like, I'd ask him to borrow it to go duck hunting or something.
Right.
It was old enough that you couldn't shoot steel shot through it, just lead only. And he would never let me borrow it. Always said there was something wrong with it. And when he passed away, my grandma told me and my dad to come over and clean the closet out, get the guns. And I got the gun, and there is something wrong with it. It doesn't work right, but it's something that it's a Black Diamond. It's a Winchester shotgun,
Right.
Black Diamond clay shooting series.
Nice gun then.
It's a nice gun. But my grandpa actually did some inlay work into the stock.
Oh, wow.
So he took the Black Diamond theme, and he actually put the other suits from the playing cards in it.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
He put like a club and the spade and all that stuff. Anyway, never shot it. First time I got it, I put it right in the safe, and it's sat there ever since. But do you know that my grandpa kind of put his own personal touch on that?
Sure, sweat and blood and everything else.
He never let me borrow it. And then I ended up with it. I don't know. That's kind of cool.
Do you think? Have you ever thought of fixing it, or have you ever thought of just
thought about
leaving it like it is? Because
I kind of wanted to just leave it like it is.
That's the way you knew it.
There's a reason why he never let me borrow it, because he knew there was something wrong with it.
Right.
And so I don't know.
That's kind of cool.
It was cool, and I could get it fixed. If I did, I still don't think I'd ever shoot it though.
Right.
Just because my grandpa, I don't think would want me to.
Right.
So
well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Something you'll pass down to your son.
Yeah, probably.
Cool. What about you, Mr. Tarver? You got anything like that laying around?
Not a thing.
Well, it's okay. I mean, we don't all
Nothing, man.
We don't all have one of those. I mean, the one that I have is not even a family member necessarily.
No, I had a big collection at one time and decided I was too young and stupid to have it, and I gave it all away. And
they were family guns?
No, they were mine.
Oh, okay.
No, so no, even the ones that I bought, I got rid of. I just gave them away. So yeah, no, got nothing.
Okay.
No heartwarming story. No good. No feel good vibes from me.
I wasn't trying to purposely end the show like that, but it was just.
I was found on the side of the road when I was a young child. I was taken in. They made me work for biscuits. No, I just don't have a story like that. No.
He was taken in by the Rougarou. By the Rougarou. So, well, until then, if you guys go out and celebrate on New Year's, be safe.
Yeah, you got to say something nice now. That's
the Rougarou.
That was a joke, but it kind of sounds bad.
Do you want to say hi to the Rougarou?
No, man. You don't ever call.
just
You
like
don't
to
ever
say
call his name 3 times.
Really?
I don't know. I'm just making.
Oh,
While you're looking in the mirror.
like was that like Beetlejuice or what?
Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Michael
Any-
Keaton will appear.
There you go. So anyhow, everyone be safe over New Year's. If you go out and celebrate, get a driver. Get someone to get your ride home. Be smart about this.
Cabs are $10, man.
Yeah.
A DWI is 10,000.
Yep. And so
It's just math, folks.
make a good choice. Come back to us. Share this with your friends, family. Also, we'll give the number out in just a minute. I just realized we missed that.
Whoops.
Another thing people like to do on New Year's, like to go out and they like to shoot guns at midnight or whatever.
Don't
Bang,
do
bang,
that.
boom, boom. If you want to do that, make sure you got a good backstop. Don't do this. So don't fire them up in the air. Those rounds are going to come down somewhere and they will hit somebody. Guaranteed. So don't, Mark, don't do that. So anyhow, Mark's going to give out our contact info and then we'll let everyone go.
If you have any comments, gripes, complaints, questions, whatever you want to do, hit us up at the podcast hotline. It's 1208-696-4397. Also, email us at patriotdefense13@yahoo.com. If you're interested in any concealed carry classes or classes, other types, go to the patriotdefense13.com. And there should be a calendar on there that tells you a little more information about those.
About classes, our podcast will be on there, all kinds of stuff. So until then, everyone have a happy new year, and we will see you hopefully, I don't know, I'll be here next
year.
weekend. Next year, that's right.
See you next year.
See ya. Bye.